One of our favorite things to do together as a family is to head out west. Between the unique scenery and all of the wildlife, it's always a highlight if we get a chance to go together into the mountains. It's especially fun if we get to tag a hunt into the mix, and sometimes that works out. It did on this particular trip, and even though we didn't see all of the animals we hoped for on the hunt, overall it was an amazing adventure together. Well, we're on our walk, getting ready for Idaho. I think we're ready, kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda. We've got between 2 and 3 months now, so it's time to get ready. Got my pack today, so testing it out, getting a few steps in to get the heart rate up a little. So I don't think the Idaho terrain will look exactly like the hills in the subdivision, but anyway, we're getting out here.
I will take that and the guns to the shooting range at the house and get everything right. And actually, instead of shooting at 100 and saying, well, that's about right for 200, I got a 200-yard range to shoot them on, and I plan to be able to get the bullseye like that at 200 yards.
All right, let's see what we got. That's a dead elk. We just want to talk about that first shot. That's a dead elk. We're ready to go. It's Labor Day, but we're headed to Idaho in 6 weeks. Hopefully we get it done. How ready do you feel for Idaho?
I don't feel ready at all. I ain't even in the same ballpark of when we went to New Mexico and got more things already hurting me. What hurt me when we was in New Mexico climbing the mountain.
2 weeks from Sunday, our hunt starts. So Daddy's getting all the clothes ready. Well, here we go. It's packing day. Oh boy. Packed down for Idaho, and then our fall hunting after that in Missouri. So as it is, I'm trying to help load up and pack this morning, but we've got a full load. This trailer's sitting heavy, it's loaded down, the truck's loaded down, but we're excited. It's time to go west and do some fall hunting. It's gonna be a good time. From here, it's Idaho and then Missouri. We sound like we're professional hunters and huntresses with
Must
all
have
this.
a hunting show or something.
Okay, here we are. Joel, Jessica, and I just made it to Salt Lake City, and we're headed up to meet Mom and Dad in northern Utah, have a couple of days to just spend some time together before the hunt starts in Idaho. We've talked about coming back out to Utah for a long time, so we're looking forward to just a little fun before the actual hunt starts. So the deal is, we found out from our outfitter the winter kill was really tough on all of the mule deer, and so they contacted us and basically broke the news to us. It's not very realistic to get our hopes up for a mule deer. I can't help myself. I really want a mule deer. So I'm holding out for a mule deer. Joel and Dad have the option. I mean, I do, but I'm not going to take it. Joel and Dad have the option if they see a bear, if they see a cougar, if they see a wolf, they can burn their mule deer tag on any of those three, and I think they would. At this point, I just say whatever dare shows its face, we're loaded for bear, literally. We're going to do whatever we can. But just so excited to get in the mountains. I think the weather is going to be beautiful. We'd actually like it a little colder to get the game moving. But hey, we got a little rain today, but it's going to clear out and we're going to have some gorgeous weather the next few days. Have a good time. Hopefully see some animals. And, you know, it's hunting. We don't know what's going to happen. But we're sure going to have fun together, make some memories, and hopefully get an elk, multiple elk, or whatever else we see. So here we go. The most important part of any trip is always the family, fun, and memories. And this trip started out with fun right off the bat. What is it actually?
Did y'all, Jessica, have you figured it out? It looks to me like it's doggy ears. Wait a minute.
Maybe to keep her neck warm?
Why wouldn't it be?
Tried to get it over her
That's
head.
why it's on the cell rack. That one was a malfunction.
I thought.
Well, and look, it looks like it got two little ears to pull down and try to tie it. Well, Jessica, what good is it if you don't do that?
Well, spotted our first elk. Hope this isn't the only one we see.
Them rifles y'all packing, you can shoot to 600. You just got to get a really good rest on both ends of the rifle.
Hey,
You're saying nothing?
I was taking that 22, bolt action 22 with the glasses. I mean, with the scope on it.
Yeah.
And I was shooting that baby 100 yards the other day at the campground, hitting, it's like a pie plate metal.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And,
They say that shooting a 22 100 yards is like shooting a big rifle 300 yards.
now, I mean, I had a rest. I wasn't on
You got
it.
yeah.
But
It's
so that
impossible
22,
without rest.
now I was having to hold it at the very top of the.
Right. Well, you could adjust
the
your
plate.
scope around, but anyway. All right. That open hole in them trees, kind of toward the top.
Yeah.
I mean, not the very top,
The
but straight
overlook
across
of it.
from us. Straight across from us. That's 1,300 yards.
Definitely does not look that far. We spent our first day getting oriented and doing some sightseeing.
Can we take him with us?
Holy cow.
Still got that.
And there's another buck back here.
He sure is. Oh, he might even be bigger. He's taller. He's taller. Or are you seeing the same one? No, I'm talking about the one over here. There's three of them. There's three of them. You see this one right here? He's much bigger.
One. Okay. Wait a minute, Joe. You got to back up.
They're eating on his
Good Lord.
I guess that he thought that fence was gonna keep the deer out.
This one's got a lot more horns.
Please, please, please meet us in unit whatever number.
There's another one inside
Yes, there's three of them.
No, there's four.
Four. Oh my Lord, there's four deer.
That one doesn't
Mommy, you
have
see
that
all
big.
four of them? Little did we know, all of the deer we saw that first day would be some of the only deer we saw all week.
They're stopping, they're like, wait a second.
Yeah. That's a pretty good size doe.
The ears are huge.
Yeah.
They call them
They're like little airplanes.
And look
planes.
at her. Look at the current. How it's current's
Yeah, that's
pushing
cool.
her.
we're messing them up.
Okay. It would be 350.
Yeah,
You know,
we ought to be able to do that shot.
and with the right rest,
Yeah, the right rest, we could do 350.
because I definitely believe if that gun is on, And so if the gun is on,
Yeah.
just strictly dial the numbers and then get a solid rest
Yeah.
and ease the trigger. That comes in handy for
Alright, shut the tail please.
Bye, y'all. All right, we are here. We got settled in. We're gonna go shoot the guns, make sure everything's on.
Well, it's the day before opening morning. Shot the guns, got our clothes ready, and we're ready to go.
It is opening day. Here we go. All right, it's opening morning. Idaho elk season. Vehicles everywhere. We're on public, so we've got lots of company. But we're getting set up. We're gonna each sit on a ridge above an alfalfa field and hope some critters feed up our way. So here we go. We made it.
At some point
Yeah,
in
somebody's
time,
gonna see
there's deer and elk here everywhere.
They told us today was going to be tough because everybody was going to be out here. But sooner or later, did you hear about Joel?
Huh?
Did you hear about Joel?
No.
When he walked a mile, he walked 1.7 miles back there, and he jumped 2 mule deer, which bumped 2 bulls. And so because of the, jumping them, he couldn't get a shot. But he's going to wait them out. He thinks he knows where they are, and they're about 275 yards. He said if he'd have been in there about 30 minutes earlier, he thinks he'd have been set up, and when they stood up, he would have been able to see them and shoot them. So he's all pumped up,
Yeah, good. I hope he did.
All right, it's about 3 o'clock. Joel had an exciting morning, bumped some mule deer, and that bumped 2 bulls. He's played cat and mouse all day and hasn't been able to get a shot on him. Dad and I spotted 2 mule deer bucks, but they were somewhere in the neighborhood of 550 yards, just a hair more. And we started talking about what a shot would take, and by the time we got to figuring, they hopped back in these beautiful trees where they had popped out. So I hope they're working their way up the ridge in front of me, and I hope they pop back out at some point. But we're getting close to dark, so hopefully they start moving around and we get a shot at something before the first day's over. But it's been a beautiful first day. All right, day 2. Here we go. Back at the same spot, and hope we see some game again and can make it happen. Well, it's day 2. We had an interesting morning. Not very long after daylight, I heard a shot, and so I spun around to try to get eyes on that ridge where I thought I heard the shot come from, and I was able to spot a deer. And so I threw down my binoculars and grabbed my gun in case the shots pushed it back my way. There were 3 shots total, but by the time I got the scope set, the deer had disappeared. So a little later this morning, the shooter actually walked up the ridge Dad was on, and that doesn't make sense. So I'm wondering now if when I heard the shots, I started glassing a different area, and if I actually just spotted a random deer that stopped because of the shooting. So I don't know, but so that's the only deer we've seen so far. Hopefully this afternoon something gets happening. Other than that, Hunter, it's been less traffic than yesterday opening day. So hopefully we see some animals moving here before too long. But we have another pretty day. So if nothing else, we're just gonna relax and enjoy the beautiful mountains. All right, that'll do it for day 2. Very slow, quiet day. I think only that deer the guy shot at that I saw for just a brief second, I think that's all we've seen today. Hopefully tomorrow is better. Hopefully they get up and start moving around. Maybe we get to try a new spot. We'll see. Okay, it's day 3. We're in the same general area, but in slightly different spots. I'm in a tiny meadow looking across at a ridge where I'm just gonna spend the day glassing. It's about a little over 500 to that ridge, but if I spot something, I could at least get down to the bottom and close the distance to I think 400, and I would try a 400-yard shot. And so that's the plan, just doing a lot of glassing and hoping we can find something moving around. So we'll see what happens. Well, it's middle of the day, day 3, and we've decided to move, try a new spot. So we're gonna figure out where it is and get over there. We figure it would be easier to get situated in the middle of the day where we have daylight. So if we end up hunting it tomorrow, it's gonna be easier getting to it in the dark once we've already been in the daylight. So that's the plan. Slow, quiet morning. Nobody saw anything, so we're gonna shake things up a little bit and try to change up our luck. Did you see him?
Did you? I figured y'all was both on down here. Well, which I think he went down a ways. So he's got to come uphill. That'll take a little longer. All right. Well, we need to figure out how to get to this place. Okay. Let's start looking. Our guide has everything in the pack we could ever need. Your little story. If I had the pack out, I'd just stay at we can see a lot from here, huh, Pop? I'm telling you, coming out of the today wasn't a good experience. You didn't want a big pack today? I did it better last night. Today. Okay, we made it to our new spot. Dad is set up behind me, and then I'm in this middle ridge, and Joel hiked on forward further north. So hopefully new spot, new luck. We'll see if anything comes by this evening, maybe coming up from the private land. So we'll see. But we made it. So what are you thinking, Pop?
can't figure out what those guys were doing with all the shooting. Or is it kids having fun, or is it somebody aggravated that people are in here hunting, or what?
I have no idea.
Well, it makes you wonder, do we come back here tomorrow, or we go back to the other one, or do we talk to Zach tonight and kind of describe what happened and see what he thinks?
Yeah, that's our best bet.
Yeah.
That's our best bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him how many steps he's got.
Nothing happening.
You've probably got all the steps you want or need this trip, huh?
Yeah, well, I really didn't have as many
Yeah.
yesterday as I figured I'd
Yeah.
have. Of course, I got all the floors they've been wanting me
Yeah.
to get. They always fuss at me because I don't get no floors at home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been getting floors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my deal. I haven't walked that many steps, but when you do walk, you're getting the heart rate up.
Yeah.
I have found my arch and nemesis enemy here.
Oh no.
They think it's Missouri, don't they, with all those little stickers?
They don't stick to these pants bad though. I
Well,
tell
it's
you what,
your magic pants.
when hunting season's over, I'm gonna start watching eBay for some more pairs of these.
Those are nice, huh?
These are comfortable.
Oh no, we'll come back here.
Well, me and Leanne was just talking now. I guess we talked to Zach and see what he
We're
thinks.
getting to somebody's spot and they got mad because there wasn't any boot tracks in here.
Yeah, we don't know what to do. Either place, you could have something walk out. It's just, I don't know how you guess which one. While we had been putting in the steps and miles to have our hunt, Mom and Jessica had been spotting some fun things of their own. He may charge, but you could try. Never ones to shirk from adventure, they went through mountains, caves, streams, geysers, and found all kinds of neat things to explore. Do you want to come sit with me this morning and us both try? Because if it's a long shot, you take my gun and put it on him.
I want you to shoot. And so if I go somewhere else, that increases our odds of seeing more animals.
So where do you think you're gonna go?
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go in there and go to the opposite side of that mesa where I went yesterday and see if I can find a place to see. But I guess I'm gonna go off in there kind of even with where that cow came out.
Yeah. Okay, day 4. I am making a move up to where Joel spotted a bull and a buck this morning. I don't know the story yet. I know on the buck, he only saw his top line, couldn't get a shot. I don't know the story on the bull. He wants to keep moving, so he's gonna put me there to watch for either of those. So we'll see. Try to make something happen, but making a move to get up there where he's seen some stuff, and then hopefully around dark, some things start happening. So we'll see.
So I talked to Pop.
Yeah.
He was kind of whatever. So I told him to come on back here.
Uh-huh.
I'll have you on one side, let you pick which one you want. And then he can decide the other one.
Okay. This is a good sign. Day 4 and Joel has scouted out a place where he's seen an elk. We've got a really nice rub right here.
We're wrapping up day 4, last full day of the hunt. Got an hour till dark. Hoping something comes out, but you really can't beat this sunset. Well, the joy of public land hunting. About a few minutes ago, a truck came down this road I came in on, which honestly, I'm kind of impressed because I didn't think you'd be able to get anything other than a really good ATV through here. Looked to me like it was a ranch truck, so it may be the rancher that owns this private land right down the mountain from us that we were hoping some game would come up from out of the alfalfa fields from eating overnight, work their way right past me right here, give me about a 300-yard shot right down here. But the truck drove down. 5 minutes later, 2 shots. Maybe a minute later, 2 more shots. And then 5 minutes later, the truck drove back out. So it did look like there was a little boy in there. So I've got this whole scenario worked up in my head where the rancher who owns this ranch right here spotted a deer in the fields, drove around to it, knew how to use the trails to get to it, let his grandson take a deer or something, and good for them. So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and sit here. We've got about 2.5 hours left of our hunt, and you know, anything can happen. Bottom line is we've had a really good time together. We get to see some country we've never seen before. Beautiful sunrises, beautiful sunsets, and the stars. You just cannot imagine the stars out here. I think this morning I saw a falling star. So we've had a lot of good things come out of this week. Maybe learn some things, maybe some things still to figure out before we figure out what our next out west hunt will be. Probably not going to be this unit again, but who knows? We're gonna see what happens. And we got a few more minutes, so we'll enjoy the rest of the morning and then get back to Mom and Jessica and have a good last day of our vacation. This is the last hour of the hunt. We're trying to get creative, trying to get aggressive. So Joel's gonna do a push, and he's working his way up in front of me and gonna try to see if he jumps anything and pushes it out my direction. So one last push, and then the 2 of us will walk back and find Dad, and we're gonna call it a day. It's been fun. But maybe, just maybe, one last ditch effort, who knows, maybe it'll work out. Well, I sure appreciate you doing all that walking. I'm not sure I would have returned the favor.
After all I did for you.
Man, that dog moving, don't get along as good as it should. Don't get home.
Shooting my bows.
Telling you, we've had 2 weeks off on the road. Gotta shoot the bow. Joel is our guide extraordinaire.
That's right.
Found us spots and put us on it. Oh, come on now.
Y'all saw anything when y'all was in the spots?
That's how life works, but you did good. It's been a good week.
Yeah, it has.
Woo! Hello.
You did a really good job, son.
Yeah.
We was gonna scrape that side down that dirt bank.
Well, I was worried you didn't. I don't know if you saw it, but on my side, there was one of them things that come
Stick it
out
up,
like
yeah.
this and did that
Yeah,
number. And
I
it
tell
just-
you, if a person's really gonna do a lot up here, they need to bring ATV with them. But where I went back there,
That's-
you can't get no ATV to that.
I think if we're gonna go somewhere that you are paying somebody to come bring you stuff out anyway, we ought to find walk-in units only.
Yeah, well, I agree.
Well, folks, that's it from Idaho. We didn't quite get it done this trip. We had a great time. We're moving on to Missouri, and hopefully we'll fill the freezer with some good old Missouri whitetails and have a good time with that as well. In the meantime, we've had some fun times together, and in the end, that's really all that matters. The memories are the real trophies. With the hunt concluded, we had some time to have some family vacation and see the sights. What's he eating? What is that he's eating? Is that just a leaf? Look at him doggy paddle. Look at him go. I thought it was just a leaf, but
He looks just.
He's
oh, he's
building
going in his.
He's getting ready for the winter.
Oh my goodness.
A rat.
That's what I thought it was.
Let's see the silver stuff going, this red stuff here. Look at the sharp point. See the sharp point.
Shine your light that way. Shine your light that way.
Alright, that's cool.
Look at the roof here.
Water. I see where you're throwing them stupid things laying right on the back of my neck. There's my silver stuff. Little icicles, is that what makes that? Right there is this little pieces of ice.
I don't know.
Because it's gone when I touch it.
In addition to checking out the ice cave, the group also found the Soda Spring Geyser.
We're gonna walk down here.
The last for 8 minutes.
Look Look, as soon as you break through the surface, it's down.